Well, aloha, and how you doing? Welcome to Hibachi Talk. I'm Gordo the Tech Czar. I'm here with my co-host, Andrew the security guy. How you doing, everybody?
Aloha, welcome.
Why don't you pull up a chair, pull up a towel, grab yourself a libation, sit down and join us for another fun-filled 45 minutes on the world of tech.
Hillbilly's here.
Yeah, there he is. There's the man. So we got a good show today. It's gonna be interesting. It's our summer show. So
this is a summer edition.
A summer
We're
edition
going to talk
show.
about how to be good to yourself in the summer.
In the summer. And we have John O'Malley coming on today.
Right.
So John
Planet
O'Malley
Sun.
is the owner of Planet Sun Hawaii.
That's right.
So he's going to talk about the science and technology behind sunscreen.
Yeah.
Ask me how much sunscreen I use.
Yeah. How much?
I can
you
use 10.
pile it on.
I put 10W.
You have some on for these lights in here.
I know 10W40, and I still can't. This isn't going to happen at all.
You have no melatonin anywhere.
Nothing at all. All I do is I look like these cups.
Or melanin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not melatonin.
I look like these cups. Anyway, so John's going to talk about sunscreen and the science behind technology.
Yeah.
The science behind sunscreen. Anyway, before we get into it, let's do I'm going to do a got one tech job.
Let's see what you brought.
And see what we got today. And this is a guy that's on his way of getting out of a tech job.
Okay.
Or getting into a tech job. So got one tech job yet. He's on his way though.
Yeah.
He's getting there. He's got the concept now.
He's got the computer.
Right. Assuming he doesn't die on the way there and fall off the back of it.
Or you think he
bought
it?
Please, I'm sure he bought it at the store.
Okay.
Don't. You're such a negative guy. Anyway,
but
he's got himself a computer.
Suspicious.
He's gonna start moving up the food chain and get into the tech business.
I think he got sold an empty box. Are them guys still around?
Compaq. They still around? They might be. I think they're still around. Anyway, so got the one tech job. So this is kind of a fun thing. So
what happened this week?
I'll do a little bit of news. You got a security minute?
What happened this week? Sure.
Yeah, we got some interesting things happening this week. So look at my technology here. It's called paper. Interesting. Twitter. So Twitter's shares. Why can I not talk today?
It's Friday.
Twitter's shares tanked this week. I mean, big time.
Okay.
So on Tuesday they went down. Even though they had a good quarter too, their stock went down 12% this year, this week. So they're getting it. There's been a lot of discussion about whether that's going to be if Twitter's going to be a survivable company going into the future, which I think is really interesting because there's companies talking about dropping their Twitter broadcasting and not doing it anymore. So it's an interesting kind of dilemma.
Like Periscope and all that stuff you mean?
Yeah, well, even like some of the news channels and things like that, they're not believing they're getting the mileage out of it that they thought they would get out of it.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And so if that isn't enough, then 2 Twitter executives stepped down this week as well. So you got the stock dropping and 2 Twitter execs stepped down. So we'll see what happens. So that's going to be one to watch.
Okay.
Windows 10 came out this week.
Yes.
So
I'm not running it. Are you running it?
I'm not running it yet. Randy at our office, he loaded it up and was walking me through some of the stuff. Looks pretty good.
Right on.
I tell you, if you're an Xboxer and a gamer, you're going to love it because a lot of the games that run on Xbox, you can now be running them on your Windows 10 device.
Okay.
So that's going to be fun.
Sounds like fun.
But I'll wait for Service Pack 1 to come out, and then I'll put it on.
That's more like me.
Yeah,
more cautious.
I'll let everybody else go through the pain. So that's cool. So Amazon, there's lots of talk about Amazon and their drones. So they're really getting into it. They filed for some
I saw that.
FCC licensing.
I saw it today. Though.
Yeah, so now they're looking at some licensing, low altitude flying for the delivery of your packages. You ain't going to see it coming from California to here, though. I don't think you're going to see it's going to.
I just don't know how you're going to stop people from getting your stuff.
It's going to be interesting to see. But I like the idea. I think
it's cool. I just don't know. Are you going to hide it? How are you going to know? I mean, I think if I saw it flying through my yard, I might just acquire it.
Would they become a target for a paint gun?
A net, like whatever.
Or a net?
Throw net, like
so. That's going to be interesting.
Net gun.
A net gun. Yelp, its stock tanked this week too. So another tech company that's taken it, and their chairman stepped down.
Yeah, they've fallen a little out of favor with people because of that negative stuff that they'll keep up there.
Yeah.
And I think people, if you just want to slam somebody, you can sort of do it on Yelp these days. And there's been some backlash.
And there's some rumors about them strong-arming certain companies, things
they
like that.
tried that with me. I mean, I set up the little thing, and I'm not a publicly visited, but years ago when it first came out, I got an account and had it going for it. I was the only one that ever signed into it, just to check it out and see what it was about. And then a guy calls me and wanted me to, advertise with it, and I said, I don't need it. I mean, I'm just playing around here. And he really got nasty. Then he locked me out of my account.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
So this has been several years
Several
when I was
years
over
ago.
when I was over by the airport. But,
yeah. Well, wow.
So my Yelp account, like my map's still wrong. I'm not there anymore.
No, you're not there anymore. I can't Google you on Yelp to find out how you're doing. Okay, so I'll Bing you on Google. So then Motorola got two new phones. So they announced two new phones. One's a pretty high, robust phone, and the other one's a little bit less, but kind of neat looking. So those came out this week. Intel, a new storage chip. So that's
Oh, I
going to be
read about
interesting.
that.
So
Now,
that's
that story was everywhere. That
Yeah.
thing's 100 times as fast.
1,000
as
times
fast.
faster than flash memory. So this is going to be a pretty interesting thing to watch again. So we had the nano chip a couple weeks ago, then this storage coming out, this one. So, we're a year away from some product. But
Yeah,
it's
they
gonna
were
be-
talking about being able to share actually basically what was your hard drive and your RAM. They'll just
Yeah.
be one share because the speed's so fast and the throughput's so fast. But currently, they can't get stuff to it quick enough to act. They're going to use a PCI bus. I was
Right.
reading that. So they have to find ways to get data
To it.
into it and out of it faster.
But that's going to be the next
Yeah.
thing. So
Awesome.
that's kind of cool. And then Reddit, Reddit's been around for a
Sure.
while. So their fourth female senior exec has stepped down. So there's a pattern going on there. So interesting moves going on in the tech business.
Maybe it's summertime.
Could be. There's something.
You know how the
something's
heat does
happening.
people, makes them crazy.
Yeah.
Long, hot summers, baby.
You bet. So that's the latest little hot things I got for this week that I found in the news.
Right on.
So,
I like it.
Things to keep people's eyes on and such. So from a security standpoint, what's your summer security minute?
Yeah, it's summertime, and I thought we'd talk about travel. I think, there's the consumer community that we really just warn, obviously don't leave your garbage cans out front for 2 weeks. Make sure you stop your mail, stop your newspapers when you're traveling. But the business community, a little bit different. The FBI's got some guidance for these guys, and I thought we'd talk about some of that. They've got some points that I think people don't necessarily think about, especially with your data. First of all, you can register your business travel with the State Department, and you should let them know that. Make sure you know how to contact the embassy where you're going to be and have this information with you. Definitely, you're advised to make copies of your passport and your driver's license, these things. You have a copy somewhere at home that someone can get for you, and then copies on you that aren't with your real passport and your other stuff. Take that stuff with you.
Is that your cell phone I see on the screen there? Boy, you really are.
That's not
really,
mine.
You really are high tech, dude.
That's my travel image. It's an image. I
Well,
thought it was pretty.
that
Is it a phone even? It looks like a radio.
I don't even know what that is.
Sorry.
Is this antique?
And then
this
my-
is like the Antique Roadshow.
The
Antique Tech Roadshow.
I have antique summer travel pictures, but I have current summer travel guidance.
Oh, okay.
So the OSAC, you can definitely check OSAC,
What's
which is
OSAC?
the Overseas Security Advisory Council online. OSAC.gov for anywhere you're going, and they've got all the alerts, everything that's going on there. So that's a great resource. OSAC.gov. Obviously, if you can take your devices, if you're going on vacation,
Like your high-tech phone you
try
just
not to
showed.
take your devices with you because you're going on vacation. You don't need all this garbage. But if you've got to take it, cleanse it. So take all of your personal stuff, all your business stuff, take all that stuff, back it off of the device so the device is clean. If you can get accounts for your a spare email account that you're only going to use while you travel, and any kind of passwords for things that you're going to have to access, change those and use them while you travel, and change them when you get back so that you're protecting your passwords.
That's good stuff.
Clean out your voicemail. You don't want to, if you're accessing your voicemail while you're traveling, there's commercial entities that are paid by governments to eavesdrop on people. They are actually checking you at the border. They know people that have valuable information or are conducting valuable research or work for valuable companies. And these companies are paid by governments to eavesdrop on you and gather information from you while you're traveling in their country. So they catch you at the border and they start following you around. Nonetheless, be courteous, be cooperative. Use authorized taxis. It's easy to get kidnapped.
So
Don't
would you
invite-
classify Uber as an authorized taxi?
I would question it in a foreign country because I wouldn't know how to identify it. I'd make sure I researched it first.
Okay.
And I know how to identify it. Don't invite strangers in your room. I'm not gonna dwell on this one, but you can find yourself and you can find all your things gone, and you can find all things about yourself published all over the world. Don't do
I
it.
can only think the last time I invited a stranger to my room
Yeah,
while
there
I
you
was
go.
traveling.
Don't leave drinks unattended. You can get drugged. Obviously,
Okay.
if you're arrested, has to notify the embassy.
Obviously, if you're arrested.
Obviously.
What kind of people do you
if
travel
you're
with,
arrested.
dude?
Well, this is FBI guidance right here. Also, I thought this was interesting. Don't gossip about character flaws. Don't make jokes if you're in a business environment about like other people in your company or things about your business, because those that could be information that people are trying to find out about
So
your
I can't
company
make
or your
fun of the fact
organization.
that you're.
You can make fun of me.
You're an anthropology major. I mean, I can't.
That will. I don't think that'll bother anybody. But along that line, just understand your conversations in other countries are not private or secure. Most other countries have zero legal restrictions against technical surveillance on you. Okay.
What about the free Wi-Fi's? Would you use
Oh,
those?
no.
You don't even use them
You
here.
can't use any. Yeah. You avoid any Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They haven't, and so there's another thing about that. In fact, most countries there is no expectation of privacy at all compared to the United States. So any information you send electronically is probably being intercepted on purpose and being scanned for value. Example of that: during the Beijing Olympics, hotels were required to install software so that law enforcement could monitor the internet activity of all the guests. Okay, so just depending on where you're at, there's not the kind of protections we have here in the U.S., real or imagined.
Yeah.
Finally, when you get home, if you had to access any of your corporate information, your corporate intranet, check with your system admin and look for access that wasn't authorized. Maybe it happened 5 times a day and you only went there once. If that happened, then you've got a problem. You need to report that to the FBI. Also, if foreigners contact you post-travel, that's probably a phishing exercise, a little social engineering, so be aware of it. Again, change all your passwords when you get back. And then sort of anything unusual that happens after you've been traveling, it may not appear that way right away, but give it some thought, because you could be targeted by people that you met or that observed you while you were gone.
Right.
So
So
a
if
couple
I was
tidbits
in,
I hope to keep you safe.
if I was in Vietnam and someone had me a thumb drive, I certainly would want to. I would want to plug it in,
Oh,
right?
no, we don't. If somebody hands you one that your next door neighbor gives you a thumb drive, don't plug that thing
Yeah.
in.
So I got
Like the one, didn't you get one in the mail?
I got one in the mail,
Yeah,
and
no.
then I got an email telling me they noticed that I hadn't plugged it in.
I've gotten 2.
So how's that?
I've gotten 2 from a vendor
Yeah.
in the last, let's just say 60 days.
Yeah.
Both were infected,
Both infected.
had malware on them.
Oh, see?
Wasn't a big deal. But
Yeah.
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 They're giving this out.
Yeah.
Here's all my stuff.
I got
Get
bags
ready.
of them.
Yeah.
I know.
They're all bad.
So I get a little nervous on those. So
Crazy
I have one
stuff.
machine that I just pre-test them all. I
Yeah.
just plug it in
See
and
what's on it,
see what's
scan 'em.
on it,
Sure.
scan it, and then I got it set and use it. Yeah, one of my old machines just sits around. That's all it
Nice.
does all day. Just check my thumb drives.
How many of these do you have?
Lots.
How much data
And
do you
now,
have?
do you remember what's on your thumb drives? I mean,
Not at
that's not at all. Me neither. That's the biggest thing.
I just don't use them. I mean, it's just I have it.
Yeah, so that's good stuff to know. So I'm going to make sure that there's a few of my close friends who are traveling right now, so I should reach out to them.
osac.gov. I mean, go. You might as well be safe when you travel. If you're traveling for business, there's certain things you've got to take, but don't. People used to think you don't take extra cash and keep it on you. Right? Obviously, well, information today is money.
Yeah.
Don't take any information with you that you don't absolutely have to have, and it's better set a way to get to it. But again, if you have to get to it remotely while you're traveling in a foreign country, don't go use any of those internet cafes.
Yeah.
That stuff those are all being
Those are
monitored. And definitely don't log into like your corporate network from one of those.
Okay, so hey, time.
Time? I was having fun.
I know you're having fun. I got it, but you know me, my kidneys are not that big.
I wanna go get Angus.
Yeah, so you go get Angus. I'll take a little break, and then we'll be back in a couple of minutes with John O'Malley. And
Right
we're
on.
going to talk Planet Sun Hawaii.
Aloha, my name is Jim Sean, and I'm host of a show called Education Movers, Shakers, and Reformers. Each week, live streaming at noon on ThinkTech Hawaii, we interview people who have special insights into education, from early education through K-12, all the way through higher education and beyond. Both public and private are areas we're interested in. We dig deeper. We try to find out what it's really like to be involved in making change, advocating for it, how you reform, what people's philosophies are in reforming it. As I said, we're live streaming every Wednesday at noon on ThinkTech Hawaii. And later on, you can find these interviews on YouTube and on the Hawaii Educational Policy Center website. We hope you join us as many times as possible. Aloha.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on ThinkTech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you Center Stage.
Aloha, my name is PJ and I'm the host of Hawaii Sports Update. I am very interested in local sports and that's why I host the Hawaii Sports Update show. I bring in guests from Hawaii, I bring in guests from UH, I bring in guests from the community, I bring in big names, I bring in small names, I bring in all names that are community related and doing positive things, sports related in the community. Come join me every Tuesday at 1 p.m. here on Hawaii Sports Update. You can also join me on my golf tournament, the first annual PJ Sports Radio Show golf tournament. It's going to be held at Coral Creek. For any information, go to ThinkTech Hawaii, INC, and friend us. The PayPal and a summary of the event will be right there available for you. And don't forget to tweet us.
Hey, aloha. Welcome back to Hibachi Talk. I forgot where I was for a second. I found Angus. We got him back from the beach. Angus, what's up, buddy?
How you doing there, Drew? Thanks
Good,
for pulling
man.
me off the beach.
What's up? What's
I was
up?
working on my tan.
I like that hat. Where's
I
your
You
hair?
like my hat? Wait, my hair. I got my hair cut. I was trying to get my hair. I gotta lose this hat. I can tell them what I was gonna be. But you know, John O'Malley told me I better wear a hat.
That's right.
Yeah, you might look at my fair skin.
He's got good advice for us all.
Okay, lad. You know, you're in Scotland. You know, in Scotland, this is really interesting when you go get a suntan. You know how only time you get a suntan in Scotland?
When?
During a thunderstorm. That's it. That's
How's
the only
that?
time. You know, they saw the sun the other day there, and they filed a report of an unidentified flying object. That's what happens when you're up there. These Anglos, there's no way we can handle that sun.
A big yellow. You are fairly fair guy there.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
I
I
am a
didn't
fair
really
guy. You
notice
look
it
at
before.
Gordo, he's pink. You got to deal with that guy. So you're out in the sun all the time, but you're always wearing a hat.
I have a hat.
You got no hair.
Is that where it went, you think?
Yeah,
Maybe
could be,
John
could
could give
be.
me the science of that hair burn.
Anyway, I got a really cool gadget today. Since we're in the summer, right?
Let's see.
I say, okay, what kind of gadget got to come up for the summer? Well, you know what? Snapchat. Everybody's heard of Snapchat.
Yeah.
Right? You get your photos, you put them up on your timeline and everything like that.
That's how you found your girlfriend, wasn't it?
That's how I went. One of them. One of those wee lassies. So I got this new tool now to help attract the lassies. It's a Snapchat towel.
Let's see it.
It's a really
What's
awesome.
What's
This is
up?
really cool. So I take this to the beach,
Huh?
and they know that I'm going to take pictures. And so I put this on. I lay this down there, and I get the wee lassies to sit with me, and I take a
see.
picture. So it's my Snapchat towel.
You're
Say
getting
that
that-
5 times real fast.
You're getting the hang of this studio thing.
I love it.
You got
I
your own
love it.
beach
I got
studio
my
there.
own beach studio there, and I sit there with
Right
the
on.
lassies. It's terrific. Anyway, that's my gadget of the week. So it's a really cool one. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go back to the beach. You got John O'Malley. That's a good Irish name. We used to fight the English, so he's gonna be a good friend. Anyway, so nice seeing you again, everybody. And you know what? Remember, aloha.
All right, Angus, thanks, man. That's awesome. Yeah, so get your Snapchat towel, get hooked up with Angus out there on the beach, and do your best. John O'Malley's going to come in and visit us now from Planet Sun, and we're going to take a little different take on technology this week, and he's going to talk to us about what is actually going on out there in the sun and what it means and what you can do about it. John, welcome, brother. Thanks for coming
Hey,
down,
thanks
man.
for having us again,
Yeah,
guys.
right on.
Welcome, welcome. Thank
John,
you. Thank
nice
you.
meeting you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. See,
All
obviously Angus has a good fan. You're a good fan of Angus's, or Angus is a good fan of yours.
I love that guy. He's a tough act to follow. Since we have puppets, I got props.
Okay,
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, how
awesome.
about that?
So-
Okay, so when we talk about sun care,
Okay, wait a second.
Okay, go
wait,
ahead.
wait, Blaine, you just jumped right in there.
I know what I'm doing here.
I I thought Jeff Bloom was going to take charge kind of guy, but this guy.
Jeff took over the studio.
So first of all, I'm the host.
Very good, sir. All right, I got the roll down now.
Nice.
I mean,
Okay.
you're not too excited about what you do, are you?
I love it.
I know,
love
I
it.
can tell. So anyway, we just got a little background on you, like
Very
who
good.
you are, where you went to school, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So let's
goodness.
roll back just a tiny bit
Okay.
and get a sense of like who is John O'Malley?
Redo. Okay, I'm John O'Malley.
Thank you.
on.
John, nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I come from a land far away called Pennsylvania.
Ah.
So sun care there is not as important as it is here in Hawaii.
I would
We'll
think
get
so.
to that point.
Yes.
So I'm a product of the University of Scranton in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Good
Okay.
Jesuit college. Went there and studied many things, but ended up getting commissioned in ROTC. So
yeah.
that began a career in the military for about 20 years.
Good for you.
And luckily ended up here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And loved it so much I retired here. And our exploits in sport, we have a common thread here. Triathlon, surfing, paddling, everything just caught me so hard. I had to stay here. So we retired here, and I started this company called Planet Sun,
Okay.
a sun care company. And the story behind that is all based upon, being outside in Hawaii is different than being outside in a lot of places in the world. And if you want to go out and paddle, surf, run, anything for more than 2-3 hours in the sun, you have to be protected.
Yeah, and you've got the reddish hair,
Oh, yes.
you've got the blue eyes,
Yes,
you've
sir.
got you're just set to be.
I
You
am-
learned that the hard way?
I burn under a light bulb. I'm burning under these lights here in the studio right now. Yeah, yes, sir. So it is very important, and that's why we're here to talk about it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, hey, with the props, I love the puppets. So
Okay,
we've got, we talk about sun care. We first have to talk about the sun.
All right.
Understanding it.
All right.
The sun is huge compared to the Earth, about 109 times bigger in diameter than planet Earth.
Okay.
It emits a lot of energy. We typically, we see light, that's visible energy.
Right.
We know heat, that's infrared, thermal radiation.
Right.
UV is what we typically associate with when we talk about sun care. The good thing about Earth and everything else, between the Earth and the sun, hold the Earth up there, we got something
Well, I'll
called
hold the sun for
yeah,
you.
we got the ozone, which absorbs a lot of the energy
Yeah.
from the sun.
There's no job too big or small for me.
There you go, sir. So we got some great props here, and we do a lot of education with kids too. So these are some
It's
of the things
important, yeah.
I used to talk to the kids about, but we're finding that adults get more excited about some of these props than the kids do. So with respect to ultraviolet, we're done with the
Okay, I'll
props
show this
now.
to Angus.
Okay, so with respect to the sun and sun care, the things that are important to note are ultraviolet. Ultraviolet radiation. There's 3 types: UVA, B, and C.
Okay.
And UVA, think UVA aging, A for aging.
Okay.
Ultraviolet radiation actually penetrates below the skin. And it causes us to wrinkle. It causes skin damage that we can see on the surface of the skin, like wrinkling and stuff like that. UVB burning. Those are the rays that actually cause our skin to redden.
Okay.
UVB burning.
Aging, burning, I'm not liking any of this
There
so
you
far.
go, right. And then we have UVC, which we don't really care about too much because most of it is absorbed by the ozone in the Earth's atmosphere. So very important to understand, the different types of energy from the sun.
So I have a question about UV. So
Yeah.
I have this band, and many of us have these bands.
Right.
And they have a
Fit-
UV
fit.
scanner on it. Which one are they looking at?
They're looking at the full spectrum.
Oh, so it's the full- it is the full
Yeah,
spectrum.
in fact, that's good. Technology has come a long way because at one point we were only concerned about UVB. And we made sunscreen at first. We were only concerned about UVB because those are the rays that make
burn.
your skin red, right?
I see.
But then over time, we realized how dangerous UVA is as well. So many of these devices, as well as skincare now, are full spectrum and they'll cover the whole range.
We have a shot of someone who was sitting at the beach.
Fell asleep after
fell asleep.
Hawaiian paralysis, I think.
How's that?
look at that.
Having a snack. So
Yeah.
they fell asleep with their
Their plate in their lap.
plate in their
and
lap.
the
Not
spoon.
Hawaii because it would have been chopsticks, but but still. but still, that's an ouch.
That's dangerous.
That's an
And-
ouch. That's an ouch.
In fact, my sister sent me a picture yesterday and said, you need to help these people. There's actually a trend now. Kids are putting shaped like Batman or Superman
Yes.
cutouts
And burning themselves.
and burn themselves.
Yeah.
In the sun.
And, in the sun, yeah. And they're not realizing the harm that they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I grew up, my parents, every summer, this was their concept of how to protect yourselves. Throw us out in the sun all day, get burnt and get blistered, and you'd be fine for the rest of the summer.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the concept.
And,
And it was
and
just
you're
like-
still here even. It's amazing.
Yeah.
that will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just a giant tan line.
Well, that school of thought is, of course, gone.
Yeah.
And now we know that one blistering sunburn in your life will increase your skin cancer at least tenfold. So stay safe
I've
out
had
there.
I'm in big trouble.
I'm in big trouble. I
Right.
have had at least 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
seriously.
Every summer, all summer.
Yeah.
Like all summer. I don't know about blistering, but we used to get
Oh,
burned up. And then they used
big time.
Yeah.
What was that white cream they used to put on us?
Zinc.
Hexagon.
Oh, zinc oxide.
Yeah, that was
something.
the original sunscreen.
But that was to cool it off. Like it wasn't sunscreen. This
Oh,
was
I-
after you got burned
Calamine
up.
lotion.
Something calamine. We had it
Calamine,
all.
all
man.
those
Did any of it
things.
work? I don't think
I
so.
don't even think it
Anti-inflammatories,
worked at all.
typically. Well, so you talked about your UV meter on your
Right.
watch. There's another tool that we have
Ah.
to measure the intensity of the sun, the UV index. Very important stuff here with respect to sun care. If you want to
Yeah.
hold that up, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got 'em.
So the UV index was developed in the mid-90s by NOAA and the National Weather Service. And basically, it's a measurement of the intensity of the sun from low to extreme, 1 to 11 plus.
Wow.
And what's significant,
Can't find my
why
camera.
this is so important is because now we know more about, the potential harm of UV, but we want to know and understand in Hawaii.
So how come they don't put this like in the front page of the newspaper? or something
Actually,
like that?
on the news, you'll hear it now. Guy
Oh.
Hage, if you watch the weather.
Right.
Yeah, let's say UV's 11 or
Oh,
12.
Guy Hoggy does.
Oh,
But-
this is what he means.
Yeah, but what's important to note, though, is the precautions that need to be taken
Yeah.
depending on what level of UV we're at. And we'll talk about the precautions here in a minute.
Okay.
Now, what I want to note, very
Wow.
important, we got all these great charts here.
It's awesome.
In Hawaii, the UV index is either very high or extreme about over 9 months out, just about 9 months out of the year. 264 days.
Oh.
this
Oh,
is-
look at, so,
yeah.
wait, one sec. We have a green screen here, so it's got our background. So look what happens with the green in here.
Oh, yeah, right on.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No, look at it. It's
Wow,
like-
wow,
yeah,
could have
yeah.
I don't show up through it, though.
Now that is pretty cool. So anyway, okay,
So
we
the-
digress.
Sorry.
Right. So the real important thing to note here is that how strong the sun is in Hawaii.
All the time.
264 days were either very high or extreme, and the only place in the United States that exceeds our levels is in Puerto Rico,
Oh,
U.S.
wow.
territory,
Wow.
and they're at 279 days. The next would be Florida, but they're not even close. So Hawaii is the sun is very strong, and why that is? People are like, well, how is that possible? It all has to do with the proximity of the equator.
Yeah, because
right.
we're near the equator.
So there's a band between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn.
Oh, what a great name.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
And in fact, Hawaii is, I think it's just south of the Tropic of Cancer, about 21 degrees north of the equator. So within that band, if you're in that band, if you're certainly on the equator, the overhead sun,
Yeah.
the direct solar radiation is directed right in that
In that
region
range.
every year.
Every year. So
Basi-
let's hold that thought
Yeah.
because we gotta go pay some bills.
We gotta pay some
This
bills.
is really cool stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna go get some more sunscreen and pay some bills, and we'll be back in a minute.
Aloha, my name is Miley Scarpino, and I'm the host of the Empower Hour. If you're interested in health, nutrition, fitness, here on the island of Oahu, want to learn more about places to train at or different trainers available, then watch my show on Fridays at 3. We have a great time, and I hope that you'll come join us. Much aloha. Now go get swole.
Aloha, my name is Josh Green. I'm a senator from the Big Island and ER physician. Every other Tuesday, I get to host a show here on the ThinkTech program about healthcare. We call it Healthcare in Hawaii. It's really enjoyable for me to bring other healthcare leaders from around the state to talk about our pressing issues. Hawaii has long been the health state, but we need to keep up the momentum, the inertia, and with your help and with your participation, we can come and share all of the big issues that are pressing day to day. Thanks for joining us every Tuesday, alternating weeks from 2 to 2:45.
Aloha, how you doing? Welcome back to Hibachi Talk. I'm Gordo the Tech Czar, here with Andrew, the security guy, and our guest, John O'Malley, who's with, how do I say that again?
Planet Sun.
Planet
sir.
Sun. So you're Planet Sun. We're getting a real good education on sunburn,
Sun
avoidance
care.
of the sun, and what's
Sunscreen,
happening in
UV
Hawaii,
technology,
sunscreen,
man.
UV technologies, and all those kind of things. But I thought what we do is we show a picture of, there's some types of tans that I was
Excellent.
able to find out there.
Excellent,
So,
sir.
so we'll take a photo of, so there's some tan types that you'll
Nice.
see out there,
Look at the guy with the life vest on the left.
The guy, so you get the guy on the left, he's a outer water skier, And then you've got the mountain biker.
Mountain biker
That's
with
you,
the
Andrew.
kit, yeah.
That's right there.
I've had
Then
that look
the
before.
scuba diver. Now, I used to teach scuba diving, and I guarantee you, I look like that, except it wasn't brown. And then you've got the
rollerblader.
The rollerblader, and then obviously you got the computer programmer.
He never gets
He never
outside.
gets out of there, right?
That's
the geek.
That's our audience, actually.
That's right there. That's the geek right there. And then you've got that fine lady.
The tennis player.
on the far side, the tennis player.
Wow.
But anyway, it's true. You see the
So that's all
one arm
damn-
out the car and
Yes,
all
sir.
this. All this
So
kind of
that's all
stuff.
damage right there. I think we got some more damage
Yeah,
to
we got
look
some
at.
more damage. So talking about that. So what kind of damage does the sun do?
Well,
Look
we
at
got
this.
another good chart here too. Again, back on the education with kids. Skin cancer, the most deadliest form of skin cancer, ironically, it looks the most indiscreet. Are discreet. Typically, melanoma presents itself as a mole. It looks like a mole. So when we talk to kids, we learn to discuss more about photoaging, the wrinkling of the skin,
Right.
the changing of the skin. So, because you have to appeal to the kids' vanity. They're more concerned about looking hideous than a little mole. So the picture here, in fact, pretty well-known picture in the industry. This gentleman here is a truck driver in Arizona, and for over 30 years, and you can see the difference in the driver's side of his face
That's
from that. It's called from the exposure to the sun.
So that's from sitting in the cab of the truck, exposed to the sun on that side of his face.
For like 20 years or whatever,
Yeah.
Wow,
driving
look at
all
that
day
then.
long.
Wow.
So that's advanced photo aging, and the concern there, it could lead, of course, to skin cancer. One thing to note,
Okay.
yes, sir.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing to note too is
Sorry.
we talked about
I'm hiding John. Sorry, man.
we talked about the UV index and UV. Now, here's some more science for you too. Again, the solar radiation, solar energy. We've got visible light, we've got heat, we have ultraviolet. Now, what's really unique is that there isn't at all times a proportionate relationship between heat and ultraviolet. Ultraviolet, you can't see it.
Right.
You can't feel it, right? Heat, we can. But here's the irony. You can go to Arizona, where it could be 110 degrees. UV levels may be high. You can be in Hawaii, Honolulu, temperature 85, UV levels extreme. So it's a weird thing. People think because it's hot out, man, the sun's intense,
Right.
And also with cloud cover, about 90% of UV still filters through
I got my
clouds.
worst suntan ever in Hawaii on a cloudy day.
Yes, sir. And the other thing too about Hawaii and our nature, being outside, being at the beach beach is a havoc zone for skin cancer, for sun damage. Reflective surfaces, sand, water. I have another chart here, but I can speak to it mentally too, where even elevation has a big impact.
Yep.
Yeah, and time of day, of course, the high sun hours are between 10 and 2 every day. So these things become important to note when we're talking about skin cancer prevention and staying safe in the sun. Now,
So how do we do that?
Let's
that's
talk about-
exactly
yes,
what
let's
I-
talk
Get to
about
that.
prevention.
Sir, you
Let's
sir
get
are
to
professional.
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's why he's my co-host, because he's
Good.
on it, man.
He's
Isn't
on it.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
I'm always afraid he's going to take my job because he's so on it.
I am just amazed at the level of excellence here. Okay, all right. So we talked about the sun, we talked about ultraviolet, we talked about some of the damage. We didn't get too much into skin cancer and the rates in Hawaii, and that's one thing I wanted to note too. I got a little chart coming up here. Skin cancer, ironically, much of skin cancer is not reportable, so the numbers are kind of hard to track. The way we track it here, we've been tracking it is by insurance codes. And what we do know is the number of skin cancer incidences have essentially doubled from 2008 to 2014. So the rates are on
Really,
the
with
rise.
all this education?
The rates are on the rise. In fact, I spoke to this a few times before. The United States, the Surgeon General last July initiated a call to action because the skin cancer rates are raising consistently each year. That call to action, prompted Americans to get with it, and the cost as well in the healthcare industry is dramatic too. So skin cancer is a very big discussion in itself, but we can talk about the ways to mitigate, and that's where that chart comes in. We have what we call the 5 S's of super sensational sun care.
Should pull it over, Andrew.
Yeah, if you could just
Into
focus in
the-
on that
into
chart
the
here.
And
And we're very grateful for the
For
Australians
such
and the folks from New Zealand, because they really did a lot of great stuff with skin cancer research and education. And much of what we speak here is based on some models that they've used. So the 5 S's are slip on UV protective clothing, a good hat, slop, of course, slop on the sunscreen, slap on a cool pair of shades, seek shade, and sip to stay hydrated.
Oh,
so
yeah.
hydration, is an often overlooked area of sun care. So with respect to sunscreen, a couple things to note real quick. We of course make sunscreen. There is a
The
difference.
commercial moment.
This is
Here
amazing.
it is, here it
This
is.
is amazing sunscreen. Ask any paddler or triathlete
Yeah,
out here in
once you drop
Hawaii.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Sir, I too am a professional.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so
I like the way
sunscreen.
you work.
We have a difference between body and face sunscreen. A lot of people don't know that. Face sunscreens are typically liquid or cream-based. And if you ever had sunscreen get in your eyes,
Yeah,
possibly,
it's terrible.
it's because you put body sunscreen on your face, particularly above your eyes. So once you do that and you go out and run, cycle, and swim, it typically will run.
Perspiration and then it goes.
Face sunscreen, on the other hand, is typically wax-based. It goes on differently, little more viscosity, so it won't migrate or run. So typically the sunscreen you see for the face is going to be a stick format, and it's going to be wax-based, either natural or petroleum, so it won't migrate or run into the eyes. Now, ours is beeswax and shea butter. That's the foundation of the product. One thing
Can I put it on toast?
you can put on, actually, sir, that's 100% natural. You can eat it.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Is it beeswax and butter? I went, okay, I'm ready for my breakfast.
Yes, sir. You can knock yourself out with that stuff. But one thing too, we're big fans of zinc and titanium in sunscreen, and the reason being, they're by nature full spectrum sunscreens when you put them on the skin, and they're called the physical blocking sunscreens. The way that they work when you put them on, they physically block the sun, and those are zinc and titanium. The other sunscreen ingredients we have, the active ingredients, are chemical based. There's 15 of those we can use that are not natural. They're called, the chemical sunscreens are the physical sunscreens. The way that they work is when they go on the skin, they scatter and absorb UV. That's how they work. So different technology
So
altogether.
it doesn't bounce it off. It actually takes it.
Absorbs and
then
scatters.
scatters.
On the other hand, the zinc and titanium actually physically block.
Reflected.
Exactly.
That's why it works so well.
So,
Well,
so
but-
one of the questions I have is like, so I put sunscreen on in the morning. Is that enough, or am I supposed to do it multiple times a day?
That
or-
question is typically answered by the water-resistant properties of sunscreen.
Okay.
You can put on particularly a zinc and titanium-based sunscreen, and if you're just sitting around, you're not sweating, you're not in the water, that product can last, most of the day, good 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. On the other hand, the game changes when you start sweating or get wet.
Right.
Yeah, then the water-resistant properties come into play. Now, in the United States, the highest water-resistant rating we can achieve is water-resistant 80 minutes. That means you're guaranteed that you can go in the water, sloshing around, sweating, profusely, whatever, and that sunscreen will be effective over that 80-minute period. And it's kind of unique how they test for that. They actually use human beings, and they use a hot tub. They put sunscreen on the body, they electronically radiate the skin, they get a reading on the SPF, they put you in a hot tub for intervals of time, typically 20 minutes, in 20 minutes, out 20 minutes, in 20. If after 40 minutes the SPF is the same on the product is deemed water resistant. If after 80 minutes of immersion the SPF is the same with testing, then it's very sweat resistant. So our products are made for performance. They're at that level. So
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So SPF stands for sun protection.
Sun protection factor. Correct.
And so that's to do with, and I've never known what I knew the number.
Yeah, what's SPF?
But I
Okay.
never knew what it meant. So it's to
Let's-
do with the water resistance.
Two different things, I'm
Okay.
sorry, yeah. So, and that's the other thing too, is there's many different components or elements of sunscreen.
Yeah.
And that's where the education comes in. So SPF, sun protection factor, we talked a little bit before about UVB and UVA. When we started making sunscreen a long time ago, we were only concerned about UVB because those are the rays that make the skin redden.
Right.
But then we got smart. We realized that UVA is even more dangerous. So now we're required to have, in the United States, full spectrum sunscreen, both that covers UVA and UVB, that whole part of the spectrum, full spectrum sunscreen. Okay, so SPF, when you see SPF on a bottle of sunscreen, that's only gauging the UVB protection. So you have to look on the bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to look on the bottle now and assure that there's an ingredient in there that will cover UVA. And again, right now, the industry is there. I mean, the FDA has regulated that to happen. Okay, so UVB SPF. SPF, sun protection factor. There's two ways to look at that. One is SPF 30. SPF 0 to 30. 30 takes about 97% UVB protection. Beyond 30, it's fractional, and it's not linear. So meaning there, an SPF 40 could be 98, an SPF 50, 98.1, an SPF 60, 98.3. And there's no such thing that's SPF 100, 100% UV
That'd be
protected.
a rubber suit over your entire
Kevlar.
body.
That's staying
Yeah,
indoors,
okay,
yeah.
So there again, what happened too is the FDA had mandated that we cap sunscreens at 50 plus in the US. So you're gonna start seeing 80, 90, 100 come off the shelves
I see.
because we were misleading the public thinking that, hey, this 80, 90 is gonna be better than whatever.
Because
So-
they don't read the label.
So
They
it's
just
not
read the
incremental.
number and
Yeah.
Well,
think
it's understanding.
Yeah.
And the industry, you're like, hey, they got smart. It's like, hey, we'll make this 80, 90, 100 stuff and we'll be making a lot of money on it, you know? So our products specifically, we make nothing any higher than SPF 30 plus. Because around that level, it's good. We put more technology and research into the water-resistant properties and nutritional value and such. The other way to look at SPF 2 is with relationship to your skin. So you have to know something about your skin. My skin being type 1, I'm fair skinned, fair eyed. I can burn in the sun within about 10 minutes if I'm not, protected, right? So take that number, SPF 30, multiply that by 10, 300 minutes. So that product should last me 300 minutes if I'm using it correctly.
Wow.
Now again,
Okay.
but here's where that gets
General rule of thumb.
right. But here's where that gets misleading, though, is if the product is not water resistant. Not misleading, but you have to understand.
So
again,
if you're swimming in it
if
with
you're swimming
it or
in
sweating
it
a lot.
and the water resistant property is only water resistant, or there's very little water resistant property, then that equation goes out the window. Because you're gonna get burnt.
So with a couple minutes, what's our rule of thumb?
The rule of thumb is look for sunscreen with zinc and titanium.
Right.
The one thing about them too is that zinc and titanium are also insoluble, so they don't break down
In the water.
as quick.
With sweat.
Exactly.
That's that white stuff you see that, right runner.
Actually, nowadays though,
That's-
there's 3 different grades of zinc and titanium, and now there's grades micronized that they're very limited in what you see now on terms of the whiteness.
So okay, we're getting time,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
sure,
wrap up.
sure.
So here's a chance, so where can we find out more? You've got a website, you've got someplace. where you can-
PlanetSunHawaii.com is our website, and again, we're very happy to come out. We do education for kids of all ages, from 3rd graders to docs
Yeah.
and derms. So we're happy to come out to schools, lifeguard outfits,
Right.
Professional outfits where people are in the sun a lot, to come out and give a really good education on sun care and skin cancer prevention.
This is good stuff. I mean, this is really good stuff. I mean,
Thanks.
this is the kind of things that like you said, we got to get the kids aware of this, and the adults aware of it. I mean, I'm as dumb as a doorknob when it comes to this stuff, and I've learned a lot today. So, PlanetSunHawaii.com.
PlanetSunHawaii.com.
And we're going to give you our autographed solo.
These
copy.
are rare.
These
I
are
am-
rare.
I am-
The guests never go away empty-handed.
I don't know whether to laugh or to cry here now, sir. I'm gonna go and
That's awesome.
I'm gonna get a cold one now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, hydrate.
I'm gonna-
You got to hydrate.
That's the other thing. Last takeaway, folks. Again, sunscreen only one form of sun care, right? So remember the 5 S's: slip on the clothing, slop on the sunscreen, slap on a cool pair of shades,
Right.
seek shade, and you better believe it, man. I'm gonna go
Sip.
I'm gonna go down the road here
Do
to
some
Molly
sipping.
McGuire's or something to get hydrated.
Right,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome. Well, anyway, we want to thank
That was
everybody
awesome.
for joining
Thanks,
us
Sean.
again here on Hibachi Talk. You can follow us on Twitter. I want to thank Nick and Zuri once again for helping
And
us
Jay.
put this show in the can, so to speak. You can watch for it. It'll be up on YouTube in about a day, and I'll get out there pushing this around so that I can get my grandkids to watch this as well, who are always at the beach. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Aloha, and how you doing?